The film opens with two friends named Mark and Paul. Both are experienced surgeons and have made many achievements. Paul is married to a woman named Julia, while Mark is still single, but in a relationship with his girlfriend, named Vanessa. When compared, Mark and Vanessa's relationship seems more romantic than Paul and Julia. Maybe because their relationship is still relatively new. But more than that, both have their own way of maintaining romance in their relationship. Paul and Julia have been married for a long time, and they also have a child named Emma, who is already a teenager. Even though they look fine, Julia actually has something lacking. They are sometimes jealous of Mark and Vanessa's relationship. Moreover, Paul often rejects Julia's invitation when she wants to be intimate. Julia also often complains to Paul. She also compares her household with other people's households, which are still romantic even though they have been going on for a long time. Julia works as a news anchor. Even though her life is full of problems, she still works well and professionally. Because of Julia's words yesterday, Paul always thought about it. He even told Mark about his household problems. In another place, Julia was the same, meeting Vanessa and asking about her relationship that remained romantic with Mark. Even though they often made out, and how could they not get bored? Vanessa then was honest with Julia. How could she still have a romantic relationship, swapping roles with other people? You know what she meant. Hearing that, Julia was not too sure if that method would work. While Mark also continued to discuss Paul's problem, he even offered a solution to Paul. He asked Paul to be with Vanessa for a trial. Mark also said that Paul could go to their friend's house named Daniel. Finally one night, Paul and Julia followed Mark's advice. He went to Daniel's house, and it turned out that there were dozens of people gathering and partying there. They could swap players as they pleased. For Paul, this was a strange experience. Paul was with a much younger woman, while Julia was sitting alone with Daniel. Paul, who is unusual, feels unacceptable if Julia is with someone else. Paul even refuses when asked to be intimate with the person with him. In the end, they all went home and nothing happened. Even so, Julia looked very happy. She also said that Daniel was very kind and fun to talk to. But Paul couldn't accept this way. Long story short, they agreed to use another way, the way Vanessa gave Julia. In the end, Paul and Julia came to Mark's house. While having dinner, they made an agreement. Julia will be with Mark, while Vanessa will be with Paul. But there is a condition that must be met. They must not fall in love with each other. And only this time they can be together. Since then, Paul and Julia look very different. They look happy, and the way they use turns out to make their relationship better. Because they feel successful, Paul and Julia agree again with Mark and Vanessa to do it again. And this time Mark comes to Paul's house. But in the morning, Emma came with her friends to decorate the house for her birthday. They were all panicked by the arrival of Emma and her friends. They all rushed into their rooms so they wouldn't be caught. That afternoon, Vanessa told Julia that Mark had been acting strange lately. She suspected that Mark was playing behind her back, but she didn't know who the woman was. Hearing that, Julia tried to calm Vanessa down. Maybe it was just her feeling. Days passed. Paul and Julia's relationship got better. They even never did the things they used to do with Mark and Vanessa. But on the other hand, Vanessa felt more and more uncomfortable. She was really sure of her suspicions. Vanessa's suspicions were right. Mark was secretly with someone else, and she was Julia. Julia herself actually wanted to end this with Mark, but Mark disagreed and instead said he loved Julia. Until one night, Vanessa came to Julia's house and was angry. She called Julia a traitor. At first, Paul was confused about Vanessa's intentions. And in the end, Vanessa revealed everything in front of Paul. Paul was really disappointed with Julia, and since then their relationship began to falter. Paul was also very disappointed with Mark. Why did he have the heart to do that to his own best friend? Until one day, Julia apologized to Paul. She also said that she did this to keep her relationship with Paul good. But Paul couldn't just accept what Julia did. They had violated the agreement they made themselves. While Mark still loves Vanessa, he apologizes and wants to get back with her. Mark also decides to leave his workplace. While Paul also begins to realize that Julia is not entirely wrong, He is also to blame for not being able to give Julia what she wants. In the end, Paul forgives Julia and will start a new page and become better. Until a few months later, when they want to go on vacation, they meet Mark and Vanessa, who are pregnant again. They all forgive each other and return to being good friends like before. That was the plot of our film this time. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. See you in our next film plot.